Yo, no maniacs, what's happening, man? I'm glad to see you guys in the chat. And as you guys filter in here, I see Cornelius, I see Junior, I see Jason Jones, Jay Grizz, Patty, Queen Patty. Brian, what's up, man? Mayhem, Ragnish, Amar, welcome to the show, man. Please hit the subscribe button for us and hit the like, man. Thank you, man. Welcome to the show. Make you part of the family. Let me see who else. Bear Truth 9, Joseph Archer, Joseph Matuzak. Where goes one? Jay Grizz. Hey, look. Hey, there's a lot going on. And before I'm gonna buy a little bit of time because I don't know what's going on with kids. I don't know why he's not here. He probably got a good excuse as a reason why. But the dude isn't with us tonight. He's doing some family stuff. But I'm gonna just try to buy a little bit of time before kids can get in here if he's coming. But on the show tonight. Oh, and before I get into that, a little bit about my personal situation right now. My girlfriend works in a hospital in a unit that cares for memory care people, so dementia patients, Alzheimer's, and all that kind of thing. And on her unit, it's a breakout of COVID, and she brought it home yesterday. And so my house right now is segregated like black folks in the 60s, yellow tape, split the house in half, man. So we got something going on around here, but I'm fine. She's getting better. Chris gave us some tips on the kind of medicine to get. Got a tincture that seemingly pretty good, but I made a hot toddy for her last night. I made a hot toddy with old granddad, man, and she had her nose turned up the whole time I was making it. And it was stiff, but she got up feeling a whole lot better than she did when she went to sleep. So thank God for that, man. And hopefully she gets over this quick. And hopefully I don't get it. Thank God. I pray I don't get it. But yeah, that's what's going on in my life. You know what? Since Chris is at the top, man, you want to tell anybody what's going on in your life? Or is he still there? Chris? Go ahead, Samo, man. Just go ahead and pick up. What's going on in your life right now?
What up, fellas? Long week, just looking forward to talking these good Bears, man, and getting ready for this game on Sunday. Shout out to everyone in the chat who's here early and ready. You guys are saying fired up about this week. I see a lot of new faces in here. Hey, make sure you like, share, and subscribe with everyone. Every one of your friends who are Bears fans. Hey, we surely appreciate you guys, man, and all the love that you all are giving in the chat. Hey, it's going to be a good one tonight.
Amen. Okay.
I'm here, brother.
All right. You want to tell them anything about what's going on here? We're trying to buy a little time. Hopefully,
yeah, man. First of all, let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Patty Laura, how you doing, darling? Armando Laura, how are you, sir? Mr. Brian Hendren, my good friend. It's good to see you. Plank, Jay Grizz, Mark Kazak, my good friend. It's good to see you. Cornelius, always. It's good to see all you guys. Where goes one? Listen, yeah, I got word a couple of hours ago that my grandson broke his leg. He's a basketball player, and he was 6'1" back. He's going from his freshman to his sophomore year. 6'1" back in the summer, and now he's 6'4". And I guess he went up for a dunk shot, and he broke his leg, and the season's over, and he's kind of down right now. But Pops told him, whatever, don't kill him, just make him stronger. So you guys say a little prayer for my grandson, Jamel. I'm going to shout him out. Love you, dude, and hurry up and get well. But yeah, it's good to see you guys. Good to see you too. And Mr. Ked said he is on his way. So he should be here shortly.
Good thing, man. Hey, get well, Jamel. And I'm gonna tell your grandpa just a quick word of advice, sir. There's no such thing as a dunk shot. All right, I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
That.
What is it?
It's a dunk.
Dunk shot, man. I was born in the 60s, man. It was a dunk shot back then. It's a shot. It's a dunk. It's a shot. Can't just cuss him out right off the bat, man.
I've never called it a dunk shot either. I got nothing for you, Chris.
I bet Brian Hendren has.
It's like what your high school gym teacher calls it.
What's going on, baby boy? What's going on, kid?
Dunk shot in. Oh man, it's all over the map. But I'm here in effect. Sorry to hear about your nephew. Was it grandson's leg?
Yeah, my oldest grandson turned 16 Tuesday, broke his leg 2 days later.
Oh no, that's not happy birthday business. That's terrible. Sounds like my son though. My son's fine, but he's 6'4". He can dunk, but it's buttery, and I've been teasing him for years, man. Teasing him. So he gets up there and he tries and he smashes his fingers and his hand and his wrist, but he'll get there, man. I need him to be like, bah!
Yeah,
At that height.
This kid's how old is your son?
He's 21.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my grandson just turned 16 Tuesday, 6'4", grew 3 inches since the summer. He's been dunking since he was the summer between his 8th grade and 9th grade year. So he's got hops like his daddy. His daddy was one of them dunking guys, but he's a lot taller than his dad. When he was born, the doctor said he might be 6'8", so because he was 24 inches long.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Jamel, my boy, man. Jamel, my good friend. If you listen to your grandpa's show, do me a favor. Don't be dunk shotting no time soon here.
Yeah.
No more dunk shots.
No more slammaroonies. The old slammaroony.
You'll be dunking sooner than he thinks, though.
All right.
Well,
hey, listen.
Bro. Well, though, bro. You'll be
good news is he doesn't have to have surgery. That's the good news.
That is very good news, man.
Yeah, that's technology, man, and that's medicine now, man. Because the way
Peyton Manning High School, Peyton Manning Hospital.
The way Chris was describing the injury to me in the green room was like meat was coming away from the bone type stuff.
Yeah,
and that's never good, man. So, hey, shout out to Jamel, man. You will get better, man. You will get stronger. Just be on your business when it comes to your rehab, man. I tell anybody that's had a significant injury, man, make rehab your religion, and that's all you got to do, and you'll be fine. You'll probably come out on the other side of it stronger, Jamel. So I just want to give you that for encouragement, man, if you listen. So tonight, man, what we're gonna do is see what I like. I watch a few mock draft shows, and I see a lot of them online too, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And I seem to be running into the same kind of situation. It's a lot of people out here with their own virtues in the mock draft. And what I mean by that is, what your thoughts are and what you want. We have this conversation many times on the show. And what's going to make this one realistic is we're going to probably bicker. We're going to probably debate. Going to have a tug of war, because everybody's going to be trying to fight their own self-interest in what they want. But we have information. We have some knowns here. It's not like the blind draft mock draft that we could have did when they just hired Flus and Poles, right? We know some things about this team and their movements and what they have a type, right? At all positions, right? They have a type. We know that whether we want to come to grasp for that point and draft a player that fits their type, it's up to us to make this thing. And I said it on Twitter. We're going to simulate this as realistic as possible, even if we got to pull teeth. We're going to come to a conclusion that fits what we know that this general manager and this coach wants, because it appears that both of them are coming back and they're going to run this thing back. My goal tonight is to simulate something that looks identical to what they might be thinking in that building right now. That is the goal tonight, and you guys are going to help us out. So keep engaged, keep going, keep us going. If we start straying away from the point that we need to be making with this simulation, let us know in the comment section, man. But we're going to try to stay on board with what we know about this team and their types at each position, and we're going to draft accordingly. Might fight a little bit, might argue a little bit, but we're gonna try to stick to the script. And so Chris had, I think you have a list of what we want as far as the list. Here's the thing: in this draft, I think there's a priority, right? So you see, if you look at the top left, you see me from 1 to 7 positions of priority. Why would I put wide receiver at the top? For the same reason that, there's a reason. Put it like this. I think that they might go into this draft and get 2 receivers early. Why? It's because it's the position of the most strength in this draft, in my opinion. I think this wide receiver draft is just as deep as the D tackle draft that they double dipped in last season. So if that makes sense to you, last season they went in twice. They got Dexter, they got Pickens, and everybody was like, why did they get 2 D tackles? Because the value was there. And so I see the receiver draft as that deep and that valuable. So in my eyes, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they double dip there early this year. Does that make sense to you guys, or am I just talking?
No, there's definitely some sense to it.
So
definitely sense to it.
Yeah,
A lot of
absolutely. I think
possibilities.
it's top heavy too, and
go ahead, you guys talk, man.
Well, obviously, the word is always don't draft to a need, but I think if you talk to any general manager in frankness, he'll tell you that if it's close, he's going with the need over the luxury. And so, we obviously need, we have a need at wide receiver stacked at the top. There's probably at least 5 first round graded wide receivers. So, it makes sense. Plus, we got this guy that's already getting sized up for a yellow jacket. So, a lot of things could happen. And we are short the number 1 pick. So we got to weigh value, So that's kind of where my head is with any draft. Value is the word of the day. So let's see.
So Chris, let me say this, and you guys can chime in where you might please. I'm gonna go down my list of position priority. I'm gonna tell you what I think they're gonna be looking for and what I think they might do in free agency, whether or not what they're drafting in the draft might be a starter and its importance. So I think they're gonna draft a starting receiver or 2. I think they're gonna draft a starting left tackle. I think it's possible that they may. I don't know if they're going to draft a starting edge. I think that player, whenever they draft him, could be a rotational guy at first, could earn some starting minutes later on in the season. But I think they're going to develop him. I think we're going to dip into free agency and get a piece at edge. The center, I don't think they're drafting a starter here. I also think they'll be doing due diligence to get a starting center in free agency. That spot there. D tackle, that won't be a starter because we know Pickens and Dexter are probably going to get the nod for next year to be the 1 and 3, right? And so safety, we had this conversation in the green room. Samo, there's a possibility that we could be drafting a starting safety. We could be if they don't get what they need to get as far as value, dollar amount in free agency. We could be drafting a starting free safety if we can't come to terms with Eddie Jackson. And we could talk about that. And also the running back, that's definitely not going to be a starter, I don't think. And so what do you guys think about what I just said? Do you guys see that the same way or do you see it any different?
So loaded. Who wants to go?
Well,
so the only thing that I question is I don't know how committed Poles is to the left tackle he drafted the last year. And Braxton Jones and him still developing. So I'm not sure that he'll draft a left tackle that high. I think other than that, I think it's spot on. I'm not sure about a defensive tackle, another defensive tackle being drafted this year either. I think it's all going to depend on, though, how the board falls, man. If there's a guy you can't pass up that's high on your board, especially with the tackles and the wide receivers. I think those three positions, those top three positions of yours are interchangeable, and it's going to depend on how the draft board falls. Because there are some guys you just can't pass at wide receiver, left tackle, and edge. If they fall to you and you're forced to pick and you can't trade out of it, then hey, you're going to end up with some guys there who are going to be all pros or possibly pro bowlers.
Let me give a shout out to Berlissimo. It's good to see you again, man. And you bring up a good point. I really, instead of putting center down as a need, I should have just went interior offensive lineman because I think they'd like to. While I think they'll pick up somebody in free agency to be our new starting center, I think they'd like to get somebody in the draft that has the versatility to play guard or center. That's ideally that's what they've shot for. So and be better than got to be an upgrade over Lucas Patrick. So and generally those guys, I mean, if you get a good center in the draft, generally he can play some guard for you too if the measurables match up. So that's probably one of the things I looked at differently. Well, I've got running back on there because you can get a good running back so late in the draft, but I'm not sure. I think we definitely have to get another running back because unfortunately I'm not sure Deontay Foreman's going to be back. So there's that. So I'm ready to do it, man. I love these.
I Berlissimo in the chat. Do me a favor. Yeah, I see you touting up Powers Johnson. I'm interested, and that's exactly what I was about to ask. Can he translate to guard? Which of those centers, if you've looked at them yet, Berlissimo, do you think could also play double duty and potentially work, as a guard as well? Let me know what you think. I was thinking Powers Johnson just because of his sheer size. Van Pran looks amazing. I'm not sure if I would want to transition him out to anything but being a center. Same goes for Zach Frazier. Those would be the top three guys that I've seen so far.
Frazier's got the strength to do it, man. He's a
strong
dude.
So?
Oh, he's probably the strongest center in the draft.
Man,
he's a beastly dude. What is his measurables? Let me check.
So if you guys can man the chat. Hey, listen, there's going to be, I don't know who said it first, but I think Samo said it first that, depending on how this thing falls to us, that's probably the most important conversation we could have as far as resituating what we think the draft structure is, as far as the value and the priority. It could fall in our lap in a way that provides us an opportunity, and then it could fall in our lap in a way that makes us have to move something back and something up. We'll find out as this thing comes to us, depending on the opportunities given. And so just be prepared that what you see on the screen right now may not necessarily be the way it plays out. And we're just gonna let the draft come to us. If we have to get to a point where we need to maneuver to get to a certain point to get a player, I think we might be willing to do that depending on who the player is. So I think
one of the ground rules we set is that we'll only address drafts that are presented to us. We're not going to for the due to time constraints. I don't think we want to.
Well, we said that if we ended up doing individual drafts.
So we might. You want to propose trades?
Depends on what we see here. Depends on how it comes to us. If there's an opportunity to be heady and smart, we might want to, let's just not close that door on that.
All right. I'm with you.
Are you guys ready? Y'all want to kick this thing off? Y'all ready in the chat? Y'all ready to get this thing started, man? We're going to try to make this simulation as real as possible, man. And whatever twists and turns that come our way, we're going to try to stick to it and be cohesive and bring it all together and make it make sense for everybody, man. So without further ado, Chris, take it over.
All right, folks. Again, we're going to be using there you go. We're going to be using the Pro Football Network simulator. I'm going to see if I can increase the size at all. I don't want to do it too much because it throws stuff out of whack. But we'll be doing 7 rounds. And so what I'm going to do here first is go ahead and hit let's draft and see what's coming up. All right, we've been
All right,
presented.
who's got the chat right now? Who's got the chat? You got the chat, Samo?
We working it. We working it. We got it.
When I hear you,
it.
I'll just jump in there for you.
Okay. All right,
So-
we've got 6 trade offers right off the bat for the number 1 pick. I've looked at this and so I know which one has the best value, but Tampa Bay's offers a 20, a 51, which is the 19th pick in the second round, 34, which is the 30th pick in the third round, or the 20th pick in the third round, and a first and second next year. Falcons want to give us 9, 44, and 75, plus the first and second next year. There's the one we were looking at. That's 4 and 17 in this year's first round, 35, which is early in the second round. Number 66 is the first pick in the third round, and a first rounder next year. Minnesota's offers pick number 12, 43, 105, and a first and second next year. The Raiders are offering us 11, 42, 73, first and second rounders next year. And the Patriots offer us the third pick, number 34, which is the second pick in the second round. I'm sorry. Pick number 68 in the third round, first and second next year. Okay, guys, I think for me the debate comes back down. Do we want to trade at all? This looks like. I mean, is there any question about this being the most valuable trade?
No. I think it's a valuable trade, but if we want to, here's the thing. This is where the chat's going to get into an argument, and this is one we probably might want to get into an argument. But I'm gonna start this shit right now. Do we value making sure we don't miss out on the opportunity to get Marvin Harrison? Because I think if we go under 3, he's gone. Now, with that being said, what do I think of Marvin Harrison? I do think he's a game-changing player. I think he's a gold jacket kind of receiver. But do I see other receivers out there that can bring you just pretty much equal value? Yes, I do. I see Romo Dunze. Every time I watch this guy on tape, he just gets better and better and better. I see guys like Malik Neighbors. I see guys like Keon Coleman. I see guys that can really, really make me feel like, okay, you know what? I don't feel like I got to break my neck to get Marvin Harrison Jr. So, but if we value Marvin Harrison Jr., this is why it's important. The connections that Justin Fields has with Marvin Harrison Jr., we just found out is one thing. There's also a connection there with DJ Moore, and them being from the same area in Philly, and they got a little history. And so when you start thinking about this stuff as a coach, GM, and all that kind of stuff, the kind of things you weigh into a decision, some of that has a play in it. Some of that has a play, and you want to make sure you bring the right guy in your locker room. And sometimes when you're high on a priority list as far as where you are in your draft, sometimes you just got to make sure you get that dog when you see that dog. Not that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the only dog at the receiver position, but how much of a dog do you think he is above the rest of them? And that's the argument we're about to have right now, starting with the next person talking.
Well, that'd be me. And that was beautiful, Nomad. That was a beautiful soliloquy you just gave us. And 2 first rounders this year, a first rounder next year, a second and third this year. I don't care who it is. It's too much to pass on. We can build too many spots. This is about team building. Marvin Harrison, we know he's good. We know he's going to be good. But like you said, there's some other guys there in the first round. I think this and I don't believe he'll be there at 4. But I'll tell you what, this is too much to pass upon.
Put the New England one back up there. I think the New England one is a unique opportunity. And based on that next pick, after once we get to, based on that second pick, we don't know what that second pick is going to be. And so that this number 3 pick, you can still make some movement plays there with that. Still, with that third pick's a pretty high pick. So I don't think you lose by going to number 3.
Mhm.
Well, we don't know what Washington's
either.
going to do. If you base this pick, and I've done this mock draft, and I did take this pick before just to see how it would all play out. And a few times I did it, I mean, it was hit and miss. A couple of times Washington took him, a couple of times Washington didn't, and so we were still be able to get him. But I mean, is it worth giving up, another first rounder this year? I mean, that's just a lot. That's a lot of assets, man. I mean,
I like this pick, man.
Now you like Marvin Harrison.
I mean, I like. Be honest with you, man. There's probably 2 or 3 receivers in this draft that I think they are peers as far as their levels.
Well, then how can you turn your back on 3 first rounders to pick 2 first rounders?
What I just said to you about connections and what you're bringing into your locker room.
That's what I said. You love Marvin Harrison. I mean,
it's not about me, Chris.
Well, that's who I'm talking to.
Got started. It ain't about me.
That's what I'm talking about.
None of this is about me.
Well, I was just addressing your comment.
And what I tried to preface to everybody that's watching and listening, that we're going to try to forego what we want and focus on what we think that makes sense based on the information that we know, right?
Yeah, but what I want makes the most sense for me.
To you, that's of course.
That's right.
That's why you do 400 mock drafts on your own time. Come on, let's do this now.
That's right. That's right. I'm good at it, son.
Right. So what do you think is the most valuable? I think it's a get situation here twice in this New England trade right here.
So I'm gonna lean on the chat a little bit. Love you guys out there. Thanks for representing. Like, share, subscribe. I'm leaning on you guys a little bit just for sake, and let me know if you believe that any one of these top 5 players, and we can go through that list here in a second. Do you believe that they're worth 3 first round picks? And that goes for Caleb Williams. That goes for Olufashanu, Joe Alt, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Do you believe any one of those guys is generational to the level that they are worth 3 first round picks? Give me a yes or a no in the chat, please. I'd love to see what your thoughts are. But
let me interrupt you just real quick, guys. We realize that some of these scenarios are not realistic, but it's what we're being presented with. So we're going to go with it as realism. Between now and April, there's going to be a lot of things happening. So we don't know the order where players are. Somebody might get hurt at the combine. A lot of things could happen, but some it may not seem realistic. Probably Arizona wouldn't offer us all that, and that probably is realistic. But that's what we got here today. So let's have fun with it and go with it.
Here's the thing. You're probably right with it not being realistic, but that doesn't mean that, this is lying season. We're about to enter lying season. This is poker. This is chess. And, what the Patriots don't know might hurt them in a major way, right? It might hurt them. If I'm telling the Patriots on the phone that I'm getting 3 firsts from Arizona, they don't necessarily know the difference, right? It's called a bluff. I'm not necessarily saying that we are going to get it. I'm just judging simple science, dollars, cents, numbers, and value. And that being the case, I don't think anybody is worth that amount of picks. Now, I'm actually going to step away from the Arizona case scenario and look at the Patriots, because you guys mentioned something really interesting in the chat, and it was this. If you take the number 3, odds are Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison are gone. If it's still a quarterback, somebody might be coming, like if Drake May is still there, somebody might be interested in coming back up for that number 3 pick too. So that's where the Patriots package becomes interesting to me. Same token, If that top level wide receiver is still there, being Marvin Harrison Jr., we might be able to do a secondary trade here too. I think it would be harder to do a secondary trade um, if we took on the Arizona pick versus this Patriots pick. So that's something else we have to leverage here. Do we really want Marvin Harrison Jr. at that number 3 position, or are we going to lobby and try and get additional draft collateral with that number 3?
Kids, I'm gonna pass it to Samuel really quick. So get ready to, when I pass it to Samuel, just grab the chat. But Samuel, here's the way I see. This is why I think the 3 pick is valuable. This is because of what we saw in the green room, and we saw, I think, 2 mock drafts kids did, and the same thing happened. I was talking to Chris, I think, before, and he told me the same thing happened. Arizona may just, they know that we need a weapon. They know that we value getting some weapons right now, and they may want to make that move to move up to make sure they get Marvin Harrison Jr., which is why I think that trade to New England is a valuable one. You know what I mean? So it's like to me, you just got to look at the board and what that team underneath you and underneath that team may be valuable right now. Did that make sense to you, Sam?
Yeah, it does. And I'll say this. Just like you and I don't agree with Marvin Harris versus Malik Neighbors, Arizona and Chicago Bears might not agree with that order of which receiver is the first receiver either. So I think that for us to skip on all these assets and try to just target the one guy, I think that'll be a mistake for us, man, because I don't think we're one player away from being a really great team, going from a good team to a great team. I think that, however, if we were to trade that pick and pick up more assets, which could lead to even more assets even later on in the draft, and we know that Brian Poles is a finesser, and we know that he's a mover and a shaker, and we know that he's a good evaluator of talent even later in the draft. So I think that maybe we should. I don't think there's any case scenario that we do not trade the first overall pick. Now, if we trade the first overall pick to New England and we're at 3, and Brian Poles agrees with you, Nomad, and he says that Marvin Harrison is the best wide receiver or Malik Neighbors is the best wide receiver, and they're there at that point in time, then by all means go ahead and draft them. But I'm with Kez as far as no player being worth drafting number 1 if it's not a quarterback. It's just we would be fools to do that right out. If we lose Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't think it's going to be the end of the day for us, where it's going to be a failure for Ryan Poles, because chemistry is developed easily. We know that we see that with Justin Fields and DJ Moore. They develop chemistry instantly. They never knew each other before DJ Moore was traded. And it's just about being a good player and picking the right player, a guy who's going to come in here and work. I think Malik Neighbors is one of those guys. I think that Rome Odunze is one of those guys. I think that there are a lot of good receivers in this draft. So as you pointed out that there are a lot of good receivers in this draft. Then let's not fall in love with the one and cut our nose to spite our face and just miss out on all the other talent and filling all the other needs that we have.
Okay.
And Barlissimo makes a good point. He says we're coming upon our time and lose the pick. So
Okay.
we need to make a decision.
What?
I think he's right.
I've collected everybody's way of thinking, and I think this opportunity at 3, just having to move down one spot and to be able to get all of that capital is too good to pass up on. You got to take that, and if we don't get Marvin Harrison Jr., we'd be fine. And I think that's the way to go. I like the Arizona pick, but just moving down one spot with the opportunity to know
moving down 2 spots, bro.
Yeah, 2 spots. I mean, my fault. Just with the opportunity to know that could turn into a double whammy for another team, because they might want to come get it. I'm ready to take that trade. I think everybody will be okay with it. Y'all can nod or shake your head. let me know because I think that's where everybody wants to go. So let's go ahead and take that trade.
I'd go Arizona, but let's do.
Are we gonna vote on it?
Come on, Chris, man. Don't do that.
Arizona, I don't think it's gonna be really a realistic window. It's like I don't think they're gonna give up all of that capital. They may give us one.
That's why I'm giving it a thumbs up. That's for that exact reason.
We're not sure. I mean,
unless they drop a little bit more. Unless they drop a little more.
Yeah. Let's make this trade.
Slide back a little bit further. Then we
we can make it, but it's dumb to take less.
Okay, man. Okay, we can talk about it.
No, we talking about it now. It's dumb to take less assets on a maybe.
Okay, man. We might
There
be
we
right.
go. There it is.
Now let's see how it plays out, man. Let's see what happens.
Okay, Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Thank you.
Thank you. So
really hoping to get
Nomad hard, bro, right now.
But here's exactly what happened. This is exactly
Nomad's hard.
No, it didn't break my heart. It did not break my heart, man. I'm cool. I know how good these other receivers are.
I can hear it breaking.
Here's the opportunities right away. Here come the opportunities right away.
So this is the thing, guys, right? So this is exactly what I was saying. So now Drake May is still on the board, and we have access to a little bit more potential capital. We all now know everybody in Chicago's now crying, including Nomad, right? He's crying because Marvin Harrison Jr.
I don't give a damn.
You know I'm messing with you, dog. You know I'm messing with you.
But Marvin Harrison be crying. He's gave away an extra first round pick this year. You should be crying.
So he's off the board. So let's see what we've got here with these two picks, Chris. You want to read these out?
We got offer for the number 3 from New Orleans, 13th pick, 45th pick, which is 13 in the second round, 141st pick, next year's second and third. We have another pick, another offer from Tennessee for the 7th pick and the 38th pick, which is the 6th pick in the second round.
I think here you got to pick here. You know, you can be greedy if you want to be, but it got to make sense right here. And we know
7 and 38. What's the other one again, Chris?
Other one is 13, 45, 141, and the second and third round picks next year from New Orleans.
Those two extras make it.
Those extra twos were this year. I might be that might look good. Yeah. But it's next year, man. Right now, we need to bolster. Right now. This is our opportunity, and I think right now, you're in a strong position to pick. Right, I think you pick right now and get your go to your top of your waiver. I mean, your priority list and get who you think is the best receiver right now. That's what I think.
You're overdrafting if you do it now.
Oh God, here you go, man.
Man, that makes sense. What are you talking about? Oh God,
Chris.
He just believes in. He doesn't know about overdrafting.
He doesn't value receivers this high.
It's value, but it is value. Look at your board, man. Your board over here. Look at your board. Okay.
My Lord.
I'm just telling you. You don't see another wide receiver.
When's the next time do you pick?
10th pick.
Well, it depends.
So we'll be fine getting a lineman later, man. But right now, I think we take our receiver while it's the getting is good.
Honest to God, I would take that. I would take the 7 and 38. That's me.
I think the argument is what receiver to get right here. Y'all getting greedy, man, because we're trying to simulate what's going to make sense.
If I'm Ryan Poles today, I'm trying to be greedy, dog. Like as greedy as humanly possible.
Exactly.
This is my show.
Anybody that does mock draft,
this is
anybody that does mock draft are gonna automatically bend towards the greed of I'm gonna get all I can get, man. That's not reality when they're in those boardrooms.
That's exactly reality. You get as much as you can.
You need to get a really, really high quality receiver. When you feel like you got a team that's burgeoning on a playoff push, you got to get the right guy when the value is high for those really good receivers. You missed on one that you maybe value. Here, go get the next best one. And let's not make this into something that it don't need to be because we're greedy and we want to get it all we can. Come on, man.
Feel the greed, dog. Love the greed. Be the greed.
Embrace the greed.
Come on, man. You know damn well we got to get a receiver. Man.
I didn't say we didn't, but we don't have to take one at number 3. Ain't one worth taking at number 3. We should have traded down, and we'd have had the 4th pick and a bunch of other stuff. If we take these number 7, move down to and pick up 38, we can still get the receiver we want.
Okay,
at 7.
We can turn these.
So hold on. This will solve the comments. This will solve everything. Do you think we can get Malik Neighbors, or let me see, what's his name? Romo Dunze, Olu Fashanu, and Joe Alt down at 7? What do one of those guys present themselves?
Mm-hmm. One of them will be there at 7.
One of them will be
mainly receiver. Mainly
receiver. I mean, it won't be. It won't be Neighbors. It might be
Fashanu will go before they'll go
Neighbors
before the wide
is going to be
receiver.
gone.
Remember, the receiver is our value, right? That's what we prioritize.
Yeah.
So if we don't get Odunze or if we don't get Neighbors, we got to be prepared to take either or. So if you want to, we can take the Tennessee pick.
Let's do it. Let's go. Everybody's in favor. Let's go.
You'll have one of those two guys. Yeah.
Tell me Malik Neighbors is still on the board. Tell me Malik Neighbors is still on the board.
And both of them are there.
Malik.
That's
we
it.
want Malik, man.
That's all I needed.
Got trade offers. Are you going to look at trade offers?
What do we got?
Go back one more.
8th pick.
Jets.
Nope. 72 and a 6th rounder next year.
We're not doing that because somebody wants Odunze or Neighbors. But if y'all want to do that, man, go ahead.
What's the next one? What else we got?
This is just the next one is moving to 28. Yeah,
that ain't no good.
No.
So I'm saying like, holla at your neighbor, right?
I mean, it could be Neighbors, but it's not going to be Odunze. We're still looking at.
Hold on, let me write down. We lost
Coleman.
We lost Neighbors. We lost not Neighbors. We lost Olu, and we lost who was that? Joe Alt. So we lost the top 2 tackles. Who people think are the top 2 tackles. We still have a chance to get Big 75 from Oregon State, which is I'm not mad about that. Exactly. So we feeling good, man. I think we grab our receiver right here and stop playing around. I think that's what we do. Now the argument is who we should get. Should it be Odunze or Neighbors? Go in the chat, guys. In the chat, let us know who do you prefer, Odunze or Neighbors right now.
So are we dismissing moving down one more, picking up a 3rd and a 6th?
No, we gonna dismiss that. That can go.
Why would we dismiss that?
You want to dismiss it, Samuel?
No, I'm saying why would we dismiss it though? If we're trying to decide between 2 players, one of them is going to be there.
I see 2 Odunze.
And we pick up a whole nother pick.
Let's go ahead and trade. Y'all ain't gonna shut up about that. Let's just take the damn trade. See what happens.
Take the trade. All right, let's take the 8.
I don't think we should, but that's
trade,
me
either. I'm a Malik Neighbors. Of course he's gone, but I'm okay. I can live with it.
Now we got to take Romo Dunze.
He just did that to kill us. That's all that was.
Now we're gonna take Romo Dunze. Ain't nothing else to talk about.
Okay.
No, we're gonna take Keon. What about Keon Coleman right now?
Romo Dunze.
Okay, listen, gentlemen. Yeah. Keep in mind we have there'll be a pick after this will be the Cardinals, and then it'll be us picking again at 10.
No.
Why don't we, if we need a left tackle or we need a tackle, we need an edge, we're not going to miss out on Odunze and Coleman.
Dude, we prioritize getting a really high value receiver. That's what
okay. So Odunze and Coleman, do you say they're equal as far as value?
No.
Who do you value more, Odunze?
Odunze.
Doomsday. I'm with Nomad now.
We
can't go out of there. We can't keep going sliding.
Okay,
that's a long slide.
I ain't talking about that one.
I love Keon Coleman, but I know he's not quite as polished as Romo Dunze is right now, so you can't pass that.
This is what I'm saying, Sam. If you look over here, we have the 8th pick. We pick again in after one pick.
Right.
So we can pick Bowers and then still get and still get a quality one of those two guys as far
Did
as
we come in here with
I like
tight
that.
end
I
even
just
on our
did that
list?
earlier. I
Did we
did
come
that
in here
earlier.
with tight end on our list? Hell no.
Bowers is a receiver, really, though. If we think about it, that's a second receiver
Come on, man.
that can block.
Cut that out.
He can play inline and outline. I'm telling you, that's a second receiver. I don't look at him as just a tight end. Look at him as
Nobody else
he's
does.
gonna be a weapon in the passing game.
Let's get Romo Dunze and let's keep moving.
Well, we might still end up with him.
What was that trade?
I'm trying to get Bowers.
The
Oh,
trade
man.
is not doable because
Nah,
Yeah,
we
that
got
trade is
22.
not. Yeah, that's not even.
But my point is, we draft again in one pick.
Anyway.
So
I'm down with
got-
the Brock Bowers pick, to be honest with you, unless, and I'm gonna put this out there, unless we really want to stretch edge as the next pick. What do you guys think there?
well, who's the edge that we like? We've all talked about Latu.
Latu,
Right.
yeah, that's the only. That's
The one I want.
choice for me. Not the one you want, you said?
I don't think, based on with the information I know, he's a better fit than some other guy.
Who?
One would be JT,
JT.
and there's another one from Missouri. I think is 1A, 1B.
Oh, you're looking way too far down. So you're
Yeah,
not
Darius
saying
Robinson.
going with
JT,
Dallas Turner, who I'm
man.
assuming is gone.
As
Darius
Turner's still on the board?
Robinson.
That's an end.
Darius
What's his
Robinson
Darius
this-
Robinson.
in this particular draft is way down in the list. So I
And so,
mean,
so I'm talking about fits.
he's
talking about
ranked
fits.
at 110 right here. So on the big board, on this big board, he's ranked 110. So
So JT is the guy. JT is the guy. If we're
JT's
gonna
ranked
get one-
at 46.
If we're gonna get one high, JT is the guy. So, but let's get this receiver and get this out the way. Let's
Who
stop
we
messing.
getting, man? Who we
We're
getting?
gonna put Romo Dunze. It's easy, man.
Here we go. Another trade offer. 21, 55 in the second next year for 10. 28, 50, 91 and the second next year from Arizona. I mean, from Houston.
Who do they want?
A lot of
Jaden Daniels.
capital.
You say Jaden Daniels?
Jaden
No,
Daniels
they want
just
that
went.
tight end. They want Brock Bowers.
Oh, they want Brock Bowers. You're right.
They want Brock Bowers.
They might want J.C. Latham to put on the other side from
I
their
doubt it.
left tackle they got.
Well, you got experience in thinking that's kind of what they would be picking, or you just making stuff.
Could be. Yeah,
He's got to look
I
good,
just
man.
made it up, even though Latham is the third-ranked player here. And offensive tackles generally are more valuable than tight ends. The argument would be for Dallas Turner or maybe Jerzon Newton.
Well, Chris, this is an updated draft. This is updated draft information. They did lose their key receiver down to an injury, so it could be Keon Coleman.
So here's the thing. And Cliff Vittoria in the chat just nailed it. I brought it up a minute ago. I think we have to go edge here, no matter how you slice this. Unless we think we can draft an edge at pick 21, we take the trade. But I think we take the best of the available edge rushers right here. That's my 2 cents. The edge rusher market dries up very quickly in this draft.
Okay, let's see where JT is sitting. I think it's two guys.
JT's 46.
Okay,
46.
let's see where what's the tackle at Oregon State. Where is he sitting? I forget his name. Fuaga. Something Fuaga. I really like that guy.
Fuaga said that 20.
I think right now you take the left tackle. I know he's playing right tackle, but I think that's the guy you take right here.
Ahead of Latham?
Yeah.
Ahead of Latu.
I've been studying these
Ahead of
guys.
Latham now. I don't think Fuaga. Ahead of Latham.
I don't think. Go ahead.
I'm saying we talked about last week. So
Is Turner on the board?
Dallas Turner's
on the board.
Yo, we need to have a conversation about taking Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner's not supposed to be on the board right now, bro. He's not.
Dallas Turner is a 3-4 type of edge. He's not the kind of edge
Smaller.
that fits in a 4-3.
He's really not.
I think Latu, Bryce, Braylon Trice, or I think that's his name, JT, Darius Robinson are the guys. I mean, I think Latu is a lot less what we want.
Here's what you're telling me then.
I think he's capable. But his upside ain't as big as those other guys.
If you're telling me
no,
if you're telling me that those guys are
NFL ready, man.
I swear, Latu is
at his lower body, man. Look at his lower body. Look how frail that lower body is.
Look at the hand, man. Look at the hands and the moves, man. That dude, he's not small. He's not small. He's gonna stand up. I
keep trying to tell people when you study these guys, look at their lower body and you tell me what their ceiling is based on what you see beneath the waist. Now, I'm not saying he's not a great college pass rusher. Is that going to translate to the NFL quite the way you think it is? I don't know, but I know with Montez Sweat on one side crushing an edge, and with JT Tuamalo doing the same thing from the other side, with the defensive tackles that we know they want big, long, fast. So
that's what he is. He's a big, long, fast guy. He's probably the same size as Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat doesn't have that big lower body, and look at what Montez Sweat is able to do.
S in the lower body, man.
Yeah, he's strong at that. But you saying big, you saying size.
6'4",
saying about how big he is.
So let's narrow it down. We know that we can still get a left tackle that we might value. So here's what we had that conversation beforehand about something could flip on our value a priority. So let's flip it to DN. And I think most people are talking their virtues. I think people just really like Latu because he's being talked about a lot, and plus they like what they see on film.
Plus the 15 sacks he had.
Okay, Chris. What I'm saying is, if you were Poles, if you were Eberflus, which one of those guys would it be? Would it be JT? Will it be Latu? Or will it be honest? Now, don't give me your virtues. Be honest.
JT isn't I don't even think JT is I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'd watch him some more. I don't think JT is gonna be good in the NFL as a defensive end. I think he's a great 3-tech because he's explosive off the line. He's strong. He has good leverage, plays with good leverage, has strong hands, but he doesn't have bend. He has no bend around the edge, man. JT would be a great pickup.
Neither does Montez Sweat, but that power is unmistakable.
Montez has that bend, though. Montez has bend, but that JT doesn't have. I think JT is going to be if he was a 3-tech in our defense, man, he will be a stud as a 3-tech in ours.
Hey, Samuel, that's if they grab JT, that'd be like having Chase Young on the other side. The same thing. They had. Man.
I don't know about JT.
Not right off the bat, man. JT he's got the measurables. He just is not refined yet. Yeah, and he doesn't have the bend.
When you're that powerful, it don't really matter.
All right, so just give me a second. So what Nomad is basically telling me is the guy that fits this particular defense can be found much later in this draft. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Dallas Turner is likely not a true fit 3-4. I'm hearing similar things about Latu. There's Chop Robinson up here in and around this part of the draft. What do you guys think of Chop? Would Chop fit the mold?
Chop's too light, man.
3-4.
Yeah, but
he's Chop though.
He's 3-4, man. He's not 4-3.
What do you say about Chop size? Go to Chop size.
Says he's 250s.
It's like 240.
250 is what they've got. That 220 is wrong up there.
Yeah, that 220 is way off.
Yeah, man, that dude ain't no more than 235, 240. And that's being generous.
So if we're looking at those top end guys, this is about value then, right? Like if we're saying that they don't necessarily fit what we do, then we have to do something outside of edge here. Is Jerzon Dexter available?
Okay, how about this, kids? Let's think about this because we had this conversation a little bit earlier, and we were talking about position, receiver, tight end. We did say before the show that we think that this is a receiver luxury draft. This is one of those drafts where the receivers and the weapons are at a luxury, which is why we think Flus and Poles double dipped on D tackle last year, because it was a luxury position. So why don't we consider taking that Brock Bowers? We already got him the outside weapon, get him the interior weapon.
I'm not opposed to that at all.
Me either. Let's pick Brock Bowers. Let's pick Brock Bowers.
I'm not opposed.
That's where the value is the weapon.
That's where the value is. That's, you got him 2 weapons. That's like having 2 great wide receivers, and one of them can block. Actually, one of them
is
can
it Bowers?
Block.
It's Bowers, brother.
Bowers. All right, here we go.
Got
Bowers.
Tight end. We got our big block tight end. Now we got our move tight end and an outside weapon.
All right.
Smith is happy.
I'm about to kill your JT dreams in a minute too, Nomad.
Hey man, dude, we talking about where the value is in the receivers, whether it be tight end or receiver, is the big value.
I don't want to hear value out your mouth again. Turning down those 3 first-round picks.
Hey, I'm being practical. Man. I think we need a tight end, and we go ahead and grab one.
Yep.
All right, there's JT. Bye.
Okay. He got picked.
So now we're let me see. Let's see the list over there. We got Keon Coleman at the top. Troy, this was a really good guard. Leonard Taylor, I love Leonard Taylor. Rondrick, I think we gotta get and we gotta let this board come to us and don't chase the board, right?
Yep.
Right. So let's go back to the top of that list. Now we start drafting here. This is an opportunity, man. This is an opportunity because the board is still falling our way. We got Keon Coleman sitting there.
Yes, we do. So somebody always drops in these drafts, and it's good to keep a keen eye on who it is. As far as I'm concerned, I love Keon Coleman. I think he's awesome, and I think he'd be a great pickup here, with the exception of 3 things. First thing, click on my picks for me, Chris.
38 is our next one.
That's it. So we got 34, 38, and 68. Let's go back to the draft results and then go over and slowly start to scroll. You know what I'm wanting.
There he is, baby. Right there.
There's more than just that, though. Hold on a minute. Hold on. There's more than that. So hold on. Scroll past Xavier Legette for me, please. Right down to 50. Boom. That's what I want to see. This is the chunk of the draft that has the most interest to me personally. I don't know about anybody else. But right here, you've got, in my opinion, the steal of the tackles of the draft, and that's Jordan Morgan. I think he's an awesome left tackle, and I know Poles scouted him last season. I'm really hoping that this is the guy that Poles winds up with as an OT. We haven't touched tackle yet. That's my particular leanings. Now, next thing to talk about is that offensive center that we've all been looking for. And that would be Cedric Van Pran right here. Oh, right back where you were, Chris, right underneath him. This is the sweet spot of the draft. This right here, this picture. Take a picture, baby. So there's your offensive center. Underneath the offensive center, probably my favorite running back in the draft, Troy Benson. And then my favorite special teams player, Xavier Worthy. Add that with good old Xavier Legette, and we've got some very interesting stuff available to us with only 2 picks. What do those trades look like, Chris?
Okay.
Here's
what we look at.
61, 93 in the second next year from Dallas for 34 and 138. I'm not giving them 2 picks for that garbage.
Me neither.
Hey man, look at the board and the way it's falling to us. Here we are in a situation where we still think we can get a left tackle that we feel like we need. We still think we can get an edge rusher that we feel like would help us. And we have an opportunity to really, what we've been complaining about all season, Justin needs weapons. We got a move tight end. We got 2 tight ends that can really hurt you. We got a receiver that can play inside or out. You got another receiver on the other side and DJ Moore that can play inside and out. Put Keon Coleman out there, and what can you do with that?
I love this. This is fun, guys. So this is fun, right? No, man. To be honest with you, I love that you're selling a wide receiver again to us here in the second round. Fact of the matter is, This dude should not be here. Like there's no reason
Keon
why.
Coleman? Talking about Keon Coleman? But he's
Yeah,
here. But he's here. We let the draft come to us.
So then let's pick him. What do you guys think?
Man, I think you do. You can't miss that.
High value. That's all I can say. That's just crazy value.
This ridiculous
to take
value.
him and think about the weapons that Justin is going to have, man. Hey, I'm for it. I'm all for it, man.
Dunze,
Weaponize the offense.
Let the draft come to you, and it came to us. It came to us, so take it. And then you got opportunities later on.
We have opportunities at other positions later on, like you said, man.
Consensus. I love it. Let's do it, guys.
Coleman.
Yeah.
Coleman.
And Justin just got Christmas gifts all over the place.
Well, let's protect the Christmas tree now.
Now we got to take our tackle or our defensive end, one of the two. Which one do y'all think is the most valuable?
What defensive end?
Or the center.
I meant to say tackle or defense, edge rusher, whatever. Let's look at this list here. None of those guys are up there.
Here's your edge list, and it falls way off.
Braylon Trice is hard to pass right here, but also where's what's his name sitting? The big boy from Oregon State.
At Oregon State, you mean in Missouri?
No, he's talking about Fuagua.
Talking about the tackle.
Oh, I thought we were talking about edges. Fuagua's gone.
I think Fuagua is gone, right? I'm pretty sure he's gone. Yeah,
Fuagua's gone?
Yeah, pretty sure he is. Yeah.
Oh,
no. He's been going in the first round. Yeah. I like Tez's idea of taking Jordan Morgan, though, because it gives Braxton the opportunity to compete with a guy. And like you said, we saw what Jordan Morgan is when we did that show, man. Jordan is solid, man. He is a solid left tackle, and he's a natural left tackle. So I think that we might be fine with waiting and going ahead and drafting Jordan Morgan.
I do think Braylon Trice is the pick here.
I like Braylon Trice too. I like Braylon Trice a lot.
Too early for Trice.
Oh no! Is there a trade? Is there a trade? Go back a little further.
There's a trade to go to 64.
No,
that's risky. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. We got to look at who's going to be available. If we still have not addressed the offensive tackle. Okay,
that's right. But here's the thing, Chris. Starter. Right, so we can go offensive tackle here, which again is I would agree with, but should we not pick a starter here? And if that's the case, we should probably be looking at the center position. I think that more than I think.
Like we talked
in the draft is right here.
Any of these guys, like I'm with kids, because any of these guys can be beat out in camp by Braxton Jones after another summer of development, man. So,
who knows?
As far as offensive tackle goes, so I say we wait on the offensive tackle. We look at one of those positions that a guy that we know could be a potential starter. So we know we need another defensive end. We know we need a center, and what other position or safety. And have we looked at safeties? Is the best safety in the draft available? And what's the guy from USC? Can't think of his name right now.
Two safeties have gone already, being Cameron Kitchens and Tyler Nubbins. Those will be the top two. They've already dropped off.
This is what's on the safety board. Ron Moore's the next ranked.
All I know is I like Jordan Morgan, but the whooping I saw Braylon Trice put on that kid on film was astounding. He put an ass whooping on him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not. Maybe that guy just had his number that day. I don't know, but I saw that on tape. Not saying Jordan Morgan isn't a good. What y'all are right about is Braxton Jones needs some good qualified competition. However, think about this scenario. What if they really think so much of Braxton Jones that we're not going to draft your backup? What we're going to do is bring a veteran in and sign somebody in free agency that will teach you some of the things that you need to know and prepare you for when you develop and get to where you want to be. Think about that variable. And so think about it in that sense. And so do we really want to take a tackle here or look at the value? Let's go back to the top of that thing, Chris. Let's go back to the top of there. So the value right now, I see Troy Fautanu at Washington. That dude is a center to me. He's a guard to me. He can actually play anything across the offensive line. I think he's the best all-around offensive lineman in this draft, bar none.
Coach D.
Bar none. That's how good I think this guy is. So he would answer your center questions. He would answer any guard questions you might have right now. Troy Fautanu is the most valuable offensive lineman in this draft because he does it all. He's starting at left tackle right now. I don't know how many people have done the due diligence on him, but I'm telling you, he is a stud. Straight up.
He never played center in college.
So I know he can play it.
Well, but are you going to hand your starting center the guy
I'm
that's
not
going to
saying give him a starting job, but that's a guy you can develop there.
Well, yeah, but are you going to use the 38th pick in the draft for a guy you
Chris,
can develop?
Chris, we already know that we're going to address that in free agency now. Now we got time to get him where he needs to be.
It's still too high to draft. If you just signed a free agent to start as center, 38's too high to draft a guy that's going to be his backup.
Second round, top of the
Draft
second
backup.
round.
Yeah.
We need to draft a starting caliber player here. No development prospects. Has to be a starter here who can do the darn job he's being paid to do.
I'm just making the argument.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that's you just don't, you can't do anything but that in this second round. Starter. It has to be.
So if you guys feel really good about the need at center, do you guys feel strongly enough about the need at center and the value that we need to get a center right now? I think Cedric Van Pran is the pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with Berlissimo. Top center in the draft at this present moment. I think that's the guy that we aim at here. What do you guys think?
That's saying that we didn't
early.
sign the safety. We didn't sign the
center. Yeah, it's too
This
early.
is saying that we didn't sign the center. If we signed the center in free agency, then I think it's too early. I'm with Chris on that. But if we didn't sign the center, then we got to take the guy that's going to be the best center.
Let's just assume we didn't get him at the price we wanted, and we.
All right, so that's the first guy.
Yeah.
Let's just put a pin in Van Pran for a second, and then identify what's the next position we require a starter at.
Safety, I think, because I'm not told that Bojack is going to be ready to start for us next year. We see the rash of injuries, and he's lost a step.
I think D tackle is
I need.
I think
defensive end, as a matter of fact, because we didn't take Trice. We didn't take Trice, right?
Trice is still on the board, but he's at 68.
Let's decide where I think we want an offensive lineman, whether it's center or tackle. I think center.
We go center here. I think we go Van Pran.
Center.
Okay, so let's get a center. Who we gonna get here? Cedric Van Pran, or do y'all feel good about what I said about Troy? What's his name?
Don't trust it, Cedric Van Pran. We know that he's played center. He's definitely the top center in this draft, bar none.
Let's go Van Pran, Chris.
Boom. Chicago, you got a center.
Right after him, too, boy. Leonard Taylor's gone. Jordan Morgan's gone. Trey Benson's gone. Xavier Legette. Will Shipley. Wow. Rook Okoro. Braylon Trice is gone. Xavier Worthy. A lot of good players coming off the board, guys. A lot of good players. Byron Murphy II.
I mean, we did a good thing, man, because Van Pran can also play guard for us. He can be
our first
guy in the mid, our first guy off the bench in the middle. So,
okay. I'm actually real happy with where we are right here, and there's a major reason for it.
We got to get a tackle, man.
And he's looking at you right now. He's looking back at you right now.
I like Bullock too.
Patrick Paul.
Let's not take we can't afford to be taking no trades right now.
I was just showing you.
Can't afford
But
to trying to make picks. Let's look at the best tackles.
Patrick Paul's the next guy on the list.
Yeah,
And-
there's three
and
guys
after-
here that are of interest. I like Michael Hall Jr. too, and Bucky Irvin, running back.
Hold up, guys. Slow up.
We pick again in 4 picks too.
Beautiful. Then Patrick Paul's the guy.
No, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna leave that to y'all, man, because I like the kid at Utah.
We can get him at 137. It's like 60 picks down the road, bro.
We still haven't got an edge, man.
yeah, I say we go ahead and get Trice, man, because if he's gone,
Trice
there's no
is
one
gone,
else.
man.
Let's
Trice
look
is gone.
at the rest of the edges up there.
Trice is gone. The next one you're gonna have interest in is gonna be Darius Robinson.
Yeah, we're cooked on edge at this point.
Yeah, we got to get Darius Robinson. He's the best fit for what we do, and to me that's a no brainer. If we got to get an edge right here, I think he's a no brainer.
Just means we put all our money in the edge in off season. That's fine.
Man, this dude, I think it's him, man.
You pick again in 4 picks. He's ranked at 100. You probably can get him in 4 picks.
But there's nothing at the top of this board that makes me want to.
You just said you needed a tackle. There's Patrick Paul.
I don't think that guy doesn't knock down anything for me. I mean, I think at this point right now you're getting you really miss most of the good stuff.
Oh yeah, we definitely did that.
Right.
That's what you did.
Yeah, we definitely did that.
But since Justin's got weapons now, you know what I mean. You can. I think you can get away with a few things, but yeah, I think the value we got to get the edge we're looking for.
Well,
edge. We can look at safety again, man.
Oh yeah, let's see if Tyler Nubin is still up there.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, Tyler Nubin left a long time. Bullock is still there though.
I got a couple of safeties. I got my eyes on. Let's look at them. I'll tell you the tough safeties out here. Ooh, let me see. James Williams.
James Williams. Much later.
Williams is really good.
James Williams got some height.
He's not free safe.
Hey, we talked about him in when we did fantasy franchise. Now let's look at that now.
Yeah, James Williams is good. We can get him later though. I like Cole Bishop a lot too. I really like Cole Bishop.
If out of them, I'd pick James Williams. Let's look at the running backs though.
Why are we sweating edge? Jay Grizz says. I'm with you, Jay Grizz. At this point, especially, Cole's got a whole bunch of money. Paul's got a whole bunch of money.
Hold up. I think the draft just failed to us again.
What are you talking about?
We've been talking about we need a different type of running back, and he's right there, ain't he, Chris?
Who, James Brooks?
No, Bucky.
Jonathan Brooks.
You know, Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL back in November. Yeah, he tore his ACL. Bucky Irvin is that guy. But again, he's ranked at 80. We pick again in 4 picks. We could get somebody of greater value.
I'm telling you,
if we're definitely, we have not picked the offensive tackle guys. Okay. And the last tackles that I've even studied that could be possible starters. Patrick Paul would be one. He's got the height. He's the one guy that might still be able to play some left tackle for us. He's 6'7", 315.
That's the one guy. It's either him or Tyler Guyton for me at offensive tackle.
Tyler Guyton's gone.
That's what I'm saying. After Jordan Morgan, those would be the 2 guys I would be looking at tackle. With Guyton gone, I would zero in on Paul. Pull the trigger right here. That's my
look at the kid at Utah. Look at his measurables. The offensive tackle. Look at his measurables. I've seen him on tape now. Just by the way, you see him?
He projects as a guard in the NFL.
He could be, but if you feel like you got to get an offensive tackle here, I think we missed the bus on it. I think you're forcing it. right now at this point. I think you got yourself feeling like your hamstring and chicken winged a little bit, and you feel like you need to do the right thing and get a tackle just because you said you needed to, and the value isn't there. There's some other positions out there and some other players you might have missed the bus. Now you may have to go to a trade scenario sometime in the offseason to get you a offensive tackle.
You're making a lot of sense here, right? Because if we look at just tackle, he's probably I'm gonna size this up for us. He's probably the 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 10th tackle in the list versus if we look at safety here, the number 3 safety. Rod Moore's like the top 3 safety in available. Cameron Kitchens, Tyler Newman, Rod Moore would be number 3. So from a value perspective, where we are, that's pretty interesting. That's like the again top 3 safety versus God knows Michael Hall. Michael Hall is like the top 6, 7 defensive tackle.
He's not the fit, man.
Huh? Who? Michael Hall?
No.
That just makes matters worse. Do you have you done any scouting on Rod Moore?
Of course I have.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I think you can do better. There's other guys I got on my list. If we want, let's look at the D tackles first. But if you want to go back to safety, we can do that. We go back there. If you go back to D tackles, McKinley Jackson's a stud. Let's look at his measurables. Still one of them undersized guys as far as length. That's what I remember about him, though. So I would rule him out. I don't think the value is there right now. Let's go right back to safety.
No value in these defensive tackles. I'm telling you, Cole Bishop is that dude, man. I know he's lower on here.
He's
Cole
little.
Bishop.
He is little.
6'3",
200 pounds, man. That dude is.
Haven't seen his frame? No, man, dude's gonna
fire in the middle of the field.
I think James Williams is the guy.
Are you looking at a box safety, or are you looking at a free safety?
I think he can go
zone
either.
Safety,
just like Eddie and Jaquan do.
Who? Yeah, James Williams?
Yeah, he's tall though. He's tall.
Big.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
Headhunter.
Building. See why I say this, Samo, and this gets me away from what I really like. We said that we were going to do this simulation based on what we know and the types that they want. They like big, long, fast. That guy is everything you want.
James Williams?
You're building a big, long, fast team, and that's how Seattle won the Super Bowl. They were bigger, longer, stronger, and faster than everybody else.
He's a good comp for who's a tall cat, the tall corner in Seattle.
Just saying, man. I think they've told us what their type is. We just have to be willing to accept it.
All right. So here's the deal. Let's go back
to that guy, or we can do the DN Darius Robinson. It's up to you guys.
Let's go back to all.
Yep, I'm very like Jordan Bird shit.
So out of these guys on the screen right now, that you see right now, any of them that you would viably pick here? And to be honest with you, I'm thinking it's going to come down to John Brooks.
It would be Jonathan Brooks.
Rod Moore too.
If I had to grab a guy that would fit here, it would be Jonathan Brooks.
You like Rod Moore?
Yeah, I like Rod Moore too.
He's tough, man, but I think we can be all right at safety, man. I don't think
Jonathan Brooks is coming off an ACL. I wouldn't take him. I would take Bucky Irvin if we're gonna get a running back, because he is a change of pace back.
Yeah, no running back right now. I don't think.
I think you get that edge, man. I think you get the edge that I know y'all haven't probably done as much as I have, but I'm telling you, Darius Robinson fits perfectly.
Yeah, I know you like him, man, but there's no way there's no way I would take Darius Robinson here. I can get Darius Robinson in like 12 picks from him. I'm being facetious, but I know we can get him a little bit further down in the draft. So there's no, if we already missed out on the high caliber quality at defensive edge, rushing and reaching just because we didn't get a defensive edge for your own, for your own argument just doesn't make much sense. We'll get down there and we'll grab when we have the opportunity. But at this point, I would still go back to Patrick Paul, Rod Moore, or John Brooks. What do you guys want to do?
I'd take Patrick Paul.
Me too.
Patrick Paul or Bucky Irvin, but I mean,
I'm gonna let y'all have this pick. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all have this pick. My fault, Samo. You put your head down.
Call it, Samo.
Take Paul, man. Take Paul, and then we can still get Robinson a little bit down, a little bit further down.
We might get another trade offer where we can pick up a pick and still move down to get him.
Jordan Birch.
I have to look at Jordan Birch.
He's a really nice
big dude, man. He is a big guy. He is huge. I don't know if he's an edge. I don't even know if that guy is going to play edge in the NFL. That dude is huge, man.
But that's what they're looking for. They're looking for big, long. I mean,
versatility. Yeah, I just think he's going to be a great inside guy. I don't know if he has, like I said, he'll be
people probably feel like that about Dorless from Oregon, right? Remember Dorless, number 3 from Oregon? He's one of those guys that can be a tweener. But we ignore their types at our own peril because we have our own virtues and what we want to pick. I'm telling you, we're trying to be accurate with what we think they might pick. And I'm telling you, some of these guys, but I'll let y'all have that pick. Y'all do what y'all want.
Take your tackle.
What, number 72? We got trade offers. Move down to 105, pick up 123 and a third next year for 72 and 138.
Third next year, man, it's not good.
Yeah, we can move down to 92, pick up a third and a fourth next year from Don Burr. We got to give him 72 and 138.
Okay, it's dead ass right. I think we got a little greedy, and we missed a really talented guy.
Yeah,
we got
a lot of talent too. I'm quite happy with the greed, and the best part about the greed is we can do it all again next year.
Chris, make the decision. Just pick, so we can keep moving.
Oh hell no! I'm pushing the button. I'm gonna let y'all do it.
You get the tackle, man.
The tackle. We just picked
the tackle. Got the tackle.
Okay.
So then
we're gonna get.
Hey, GM.
I was looking away, man.
Get the safety or Robinson. I say a safety or Robinson, man. Like I think Rod Moore is high value right here, man.
That's who I would take right here.
Who's that? Rod Moore?
Rod Moore, yeah. He's
available.
He's right there. You're not interested in any of the trades?
Let's look at all
those trades.
Let's look at all positions. Let's look at all positions. Let's go to see what we got here. Let's look at all positions. So go from offense to defense.
Yes.
We know we don't want a quarterback.
Brooks and Irving still available.
I think Bucky Irving is the value here.
So we're at 72 and we pick again at 76. I would do Rod Moore. We can still grab one of those two running backs. I
think Bucky Irving is the guy.
Yeah, we can get him 4 picks from now. He's at 8. We'll miss out on one of those 2 running backs for sure, but I would assume Bucky should be there.
You just like Rod.
No, I just want to get a safety because of his value. That's the only reason I'm pushing.
His value is safety all down here, man. I can tell you some guy.
Cool. At free safety.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bucky Irving is the guy, man. I want that guy on my team and not on nobody else's. We saw a couple of really good, like the guy Detroit has.
Blake Corum is also is available too.
What I want to say is the guy that Detroit has, I keep forgetting his name all the time, and the guy that Miami has, those are the guys that I thought were really movers and shakers at the position. And because of their size, they were undervalued a little bit, except for the guy that went to Detroit. But A-Chain that went to Miami, look at the year he's having. We can have that type of player here in Chicago. I think Bucky Irving is one of those types of guys that can really change the dynamic of our offense.
Let's take him at 76 then.
Y'all go ahead.
So let's take
more.
Here then. Take the safety
I
here,
say-
take Moore here, then take Bucky afterwards, and go from
Let's
there.
do it. I think we got our 2 picks here.
There's Darius Robinson.
I think
That's hard to pass up right there. See,
Man,
that
we got
was hard to
76.
pass up. Mhm.
we missed. I told you, man, that was a guy.
I'm not too worried about missing on an edge because we can get an edge in free agency, which is what I think polls would do anyways.
Yeah,
We missed on an edge. It sucks. I wanted one much higher in the draft, but we'll get one next year.
Or at least said Jordan Birch is the 3-tech. Thank me later. I gotta check him out, man.
They might say the same thing about Brandon Dorless, too, Barlissimo.
Barlissimo, what do you think about JT? About at 3-tech?
Man, JT is going to be an edge rusher like Chase Young, and a good one.
See it? I don't see it, man.
So you get your homeboy Bucky here or what?
Bucky's there, but we got to move down 10 picks and pick up 151.
Where's Bucky ranked?
Yeah, we're gonna miss Bucky there for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna miss Bucky. Let's not do it. Let's go ahead and take Bucky.
We didn't look at D tackle for a while. Let's see what we got at D tackle.
Kenley Jackson's still there.
Let's go down that list because I think Mason Smith. You know,
is nice.
Mason Smith he's not even coming out. He's on this list, but he had a absolutely terrible season. He looks like Tarzan. He played like Jane, even worse this year. I was high on him coming in because he missed last year. All of last year, he got hurt the first game.
Do you know what system he plays in?
He didn't play in none this year because he was terrible.
Do you know what they do down there? I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but you look at it. You look at stuff on tape, and you might be confused at what you're looking like. He's a 2-gapper down there.
Who's that?
He's not a penetrating, so it might be different here playing in this system.
Who was that?
Talking about Mason Smith.
Oh, Mason Smith
based
at
on his tape.
LSU.
Everybody
That dude is
seems-
explosive. Now he is explosive, and what's the name's a 2-gap shooter. He's starting to turn it on right now. Javon Dexter.
Yes, that's what they said about Dexter. You know, he's not busy. He ain't getting off the ball. He's playing in a different type system.
Dexter
Mason has so much potential, man. That dude is extremely athletic.
I think if you're looking at
strong.
Sam, if you're looking at big, long, fast, and you're trying to get deep at the D line position, I think he's a can't miss. If you can turn him into what you think he can be in this system and just tell him to go ahead and attack, like they told Trevon Dexter, you got yourself a stud.
Gibson asked a real good question. Can Bucky block?
Nah,
Bucky Irving.
They just
Bucky
handed him
can't
the
block,
ball.
man. Bucky's not blocking anything, man. He's
Hey man,
he might, man. We never know. Blocking's about want and effort, man. If he puts forth that effort, man, he might be able to. It's about want to. So we just never seen him do it because they just hand that man the ball.
Hey, thank you. Let me jump in here for a quick station identification. Hey, this is the Nomad Network. This is Nomad at Night. We love you guys for being in here. We thank you for joining us, man. Let's do the easy and painless thing and hit the like button at least. But if you really enjoy the content and you appreciate what we're trying to put out here for you guys, please hit the subscribe button. If you have not, we would greatly appreciate that, man. And just keep up the good spirits, man. We're gonna keep on putting out good content, but show the appreciation, man, and do the good thing. It's quick and it's painless and it's easy. Like and subscribe.
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff and Nomad at Night postgame, and every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms, and only on the Nomad Network.
Okay, fellas, I think Mason Smith is the highest value player on this board right now for where we're sitting. I think the most potential sits in him. Now, if you really trust what Flus and his crew have been able to get out of some of the guys that we have in this system, then you would agree with me that because he's playing in a 2-gap system, we don't know what he could look like when he's asked to just attack and take care of his lane instead of sitting there and trying to kind of glide along the line. That's what two gapping is. You're trying to cover two gaps. And so I would love to see what Mason Smith in that rotation would look like. So to me, he's the most valuable guy on that board.
He's also one of the guys on the board that have said he's not coming out.
He's here tonight. Well, he's here tonight, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. And how many picks do we have left?
If he's not coming out, I don't say we should grab him. I
We
think
got
he
4
is.
picks left.
I think he is a guy like you said, Nomad. Now this is where I don't agree with J2K on this too. Like I think he is a high upside guy who's in a scheme that he doesn't fit, man. He just doesn't hold up well in that two gap system. In the penetrating system, man, he might flourish. So I would take a chance on him. I would definitely take a chance.
And Sam, I'm used to this. I met the same resistance on Jervon Dexter last year. And what he turned out to be.
Dexter showed some on tape last year, though, too. This guy showed nothing this year.
Oh man,
he is.
Man, you just sold me on Bucky Irvin a minute ago, and now we talking about defensive tackles.
I'm just telling you what the value is, man. I'm just telling you what the value is. Right now, it could be Bucky, but it could be Mason Smith. Now, if you guys want to stick to the fact that he might not be coming out, let's just not consider him then. But if he's available, I think he's the best player on that board, right? Bucky Irvin right up under that. So if he's not there and you want to look at it that way, let's just get Bucky then.
Yeah, I would just want to look at it like he's not there.
I ain't talking about you, J2K. You ain't the only person I interacted with about Jervon Dexter, man. Taking it to the heart, man.
Are we going Irvin then?
I think Irvin's like I think the better defensive tackles were much earlier in this draft. I think we've sort of gone over and beyond them. I'm also going to say I think we're doing very good at that position right now, considering that Zach Pickens ain't even really getting on the field as much as he possibly could. I wouldn't, if I was going to double dip at this position, it would have been much earlier in this draft. We would have been talking about Jervon Newton. There's a couple other guys again much earlier in this draft. I also like Michael Hall. Other people don't like Michael Hall. I like Michael Hall. I think he's a bowling ball. But
I like him too. He's just not a fit in this defense.
Fair enough, right? So if that's the case, I'm thinking again, can we get somebody who starts here? And I think a running back likely could potentially start in our offense. So I think Bucky Irvin's your guy.
So, all right, let's just reel it back right quick. Just be real simple before we make this pick. Think about what we have here. We're looking at Romo Dunze on the outside or inside. We're looking at Brock Bowers as our move tight end next to Cole Kmet. We're looking at Keon Coleman on the outside. We just got a center, Cedric Van Pran. That was a great pick. We got Patrick Paul, a guy that we think that can push Braxton Jones for a starting job. We also got Rod Moore in case we don't get Eddie Jackson at a negotiated deal, a team-friendly deal, which he may or may not take. I don't know. But if not, I think we just either go into free agency and get another guy, or we just sign another starting safety. We know for a fact that the Flutes and his crew do a really good job with DBs, and they don't mind starting a rookie DB. We know that, right? And so now what we want to do is look at I think you add to that offense and put another weapon around Justin at the value that he's at on this board, and just take that guy that can really move the chains a little bit in short yardage situations. He can't block. He won't be able to block linebackers and things like that, but that's not what you're going to be asking him to do. Right. So I think, to me, if that makes sense to you guys, to me, Brooks is the guy. I mean, not Brooks, but Bucky Irvin. My fault.
Bucky Irvin.
That's the pick, guys.
Y'all do it. Let's take Buck.
Done.
All right. Now we got we got some variety at the running back, man. We don't have just north-south runners.
And that offense is humming.
It's ferocious. I think because the defense has trended so highly this year, and there's very few holes in that defense.
An offensive coordinator on the board.
Hey, Coach, you want to get in here? You want to get in?
Oh, you just called. We got you a running back, Coach. What's wrong?
We got you, Brock Bowers, man. I know how much you like him.
We got you, Brock. We got you 2 other receivers.
Yeah, man. Quit being greedy, Coach, man. Stop playing. But hey, look, I think now I think everything from here is just icing on the cake. It's just about getting the best player available. I think if you can find an edge that you think right now would be a time to double dip on edge. If we can find one later in this draft that can really add something to the team. Right now is a good time to look at edge again.
Well, under him, he's more 3-4. Sawyer.
Yeah, he's now he's underrated. I think he can put his hands in the dirt and can play stand up.
Muhammad Kamara's there. He's undersized, but he's an effort guy.
Oh man, it's some.
I like Kamara, man. I like Kamara a lot.
Yeah,
go back to the top.
Ask Dion about Kamara.
Man,
Kamara's a 3-4 guy, man.
Yeah, he's undersized, but he's effort guy.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
I like Jack Sawyer. I do like him. He's got a long frame. He probably could put on 20 pounds.
Yeah, man, he's just small, man, for what we looking for.
He's 6'4", 250.
Yeah, that's like fucking Tremaine Edmonds size. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think the other guy down in Washington's not bad either. Go back up, Chris.
Fatui.
He's not bad. Let's look at him.
I remember scouting him last year. I mean, he's a smaller guy too.
What about the guards? I think Nathan Campbell is right. We didn't look at the guards.
That would not be bad. Brandon Coleman's there. He's good. Layden Robinson's a guy I've looked at. Zenter. Yeah. I think Zenter is this is the value if you got to take a guard. Zenter should be ranked higher than these guys. He should.
Javion Cohen is another guy that's very underrated down there from Miami. He's very underrated. Joshua Gray is very underrated. I think Layden Robinson is a good pick here, and it all depends on what you think about Ja'Tyree Carter. One, what do you think about keeping Nate Davis? I think he's under contract for 1 more year. You know what I mean? Coach said he'll cook with the guys I got, man. I know you would, man.
Yeah, I think Davis is under contract for 2 more.
Okay,
he
so
signed a 3-year deal.
Here's one other situation we could look at, and that is let's go back to D tackle, man, because I don't think we've seen everything we need to see there. Joshua Farmer's a big boy. Keith Randolph is better than people think, and I know everybody talking about Jazon Newton. I think there's a lot of value here. It's a lot of value. It's about what you Dwayne Carter, look at his measurements.
Lil Wayne?
Let me look him up. While you guys go ahead and talk, I'm gonna look Dwayne Carter up, but he's got some good measurables and he's a fit. He's a fit. Go ahead and talk, you guys. Don't get quiet.
Oh, good old Lil Wayne. Let's see the all, please. Let's see the all. See here, to be frank and earnest, I would be looking at Jackson Powers Johnson. I'm going to say that out loud. He would be the number 3 offensive center in the draft, and most people would be like, "It's crazy to draft 2 centers," but now you got center depth right out the box. Not to mention he's pretty big, and I bet you he could transition to play guard.
Both of those guys could. Yep.
I think they both. I was just gonna say, I think they both could transition to play guard. So in a worst case scenario, if we've got a season where Patrick actually starts and continues and plays his contract out, who knows what happens? If that's what happens, or if we sign a center in the offseason, we've got 2 guys who can back each other up and spend a year developing. Personally, I think that's the move here. I'm also slightly interested in the QB idea here Good old there's Cam Ward. Let's look at quarterback here, Chris.
So hey, let me before we do that, man, let's look at this. This is what I know about Dwayne Carter. I know Flus has a connection with the head coach at Duke, and he loves the defensive style that they play there. I know this just from my research off Eberflus. He's looking for big, long, fast. Dwayne Carter is about 6'3", 6'4", somewhere in that range, probably more 6'4", but he's got arms of like a 6'6" guy. Really long arms. He's really quick. He's really fast. He's really twitchy. The way they play defense at Duke kind of mirrors what we do here in Chicago. So what I'm talking about as far as value goes, this is the part of the draft where kind of a head coach kind of gets his way. He sees those value picks. He comes in that room and he's like, hey, man, this Dwayne Carter guy, I know if we put this guy in the system and get him in the rope, he's already 6'3", 6'4", with freakishly long arms. You put him in that rotation and let him grow and let him attack in that. I'm making the case for a defensive tackle here to layer onto what we already have. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna keep bringing in talent. I'm telling you guys, Dwayne Carter at Duke, just remember that name. I don't know if we're gonna pick him right now, but we need to make a move because we losing viewers right now. Let's just do something.
There's the reality of it. Honestly, I really like the JPJ situation here. I think the chat is interested in this as an idea. Spencer Rattler might not be crazy here either. I don't. He's not your top QB, but he's nice. He's pretty decent, and he'd be a developmental prospect for us, working as a backup, potentially higher than everybody's favorite guy, Tyson Bagent. But in Rattler over Bagent, the chat there's Jay Sanders. Who knows, right? But I personally would go JPJ. What do you guys think?
I think Cam Ward is the best. If you're gonna go mess around with some,
he's there.
I think he fits what we're doing better than anybody. If you're gonna go quarterback, if y'all want to get a quarterback late, I think Cam Ward is the kind of guy that would fit what we're doing. But also the center, Jackson Powers Johnson, is almost like a damn if we didn't have Cedric Van Pran. But Powers Johnson is the kind of guy that can play either guard or center. So you could answer. That's a very, very, very valuable pick right there. I think right there.
There you go.
You can move him from side to side.
If you know it.
Have him playing center. I think he's too valuable to pass up right here.
I agree. He's way too valuable to pass up right here.
What do you
play
think,
guard and play center.
What do you think, kids?
I'm super with it. To be honest with you.
Let's make
both with that offensive line. Let's do it.
All right. What's the top of the board here? We got
pick 122.
All
Man,
right.
I'd even double dip at tight end if Jaheim Bell's still on the board here.
You probably would, wouldn't you?
I totally would. Oh, he's still on the board, and here we are. Yo, what do you guys say?
Oh, hold up, Chris. You're moving too fast over there at the top.
I was just looking down.
Ooh.
Let me say this while it's quiet.
This is why we should have got the edge.
Peyton Wilson would be a good guy to bring in.
Damn, Chris, you always trying to sell me on linebackers, man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Maybe we quadruple dip on linebacker here as opposed to double dipping.
He's a
on
guy. He's got the same body style as our guy. I can't think of his name. Who's our middle linebacker? Buffalo.
Man,
Jermaine Edmonds.
Yeah, he's exactly that body style. Man, he's fast. Dude.
Let's look at corner because we may or may not sign Jalen Johnson.
Cam Hart is right there under him.
We signing Jalen Johnson.
We don't know that.
That's not even in question anymore. My guy was asked whether he should be. So let's be real. He was asked to make a Pro Bowl, get a bunch of picks.
Let's look at
everything he was asked for. If we don't sign him now, it's just because we're damn cheap.
Let's look at corner.
We know you cheap. Now you want to sign. Hold on. Now. If you Now you ready to base?
Oh, Cam Hart is there. Oh,
Yeah, I
He
like
proved
Cam
it there,
Hart.
bro. He
what?
proved
Like,
it there.
Cam Hart is there. I think Jason Marshall is pretty tough.
Let me show you a guy way down here that should be higher. DeCorian Patterson at UCF led the nation in interceptions last year.
I will admit I don't know that kid yet, but I think Cam Hart is probably the most valuable pick here. We don't know if he's signing Jalen Johnson.
Center, safety here, please.
Oh God, come on now. We already almost 2 hours into this.
Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts was top defensive player, led the nation, 7 interceptions.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was really just looking for Williams. If Williams was still around, I would have definitely made a case for Williams.
Williams went at pick 96, I think.
I think Tyreek Smith at Georgia is underrated too.
So really, we're in the luxury depth area here, as Coach T so handsomely pointed out. I'm all for the double dip at I'm for the double dip at tight end. That's just me. Or maybe Brandon Coleman at guard.
You just like Jaheim Bell. You just like Jaheim Bell.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's nice.
It's all right to say that, man. It's all right to say that.
I'm saying it.
Let me hip you to another tight end that you might have overlooked at TCU, Jared Wiley. It's about 6'7", 250. He looks a lot like Gronkowski to me.
Holy smokes, he's big.
Hey, Coach, I'm gonna ask Coach T something. Coach, if you still in the chat, with all we just put on the board as far as our offensive weapons, would you even consider bringing Jaheim Bell in here, or do you consider him? He might be a casualty after camp, man, because we got too many things going on here. I can't see Jaheim Bell being another pick here.
Well, you're gonna carry more. You're gonna carry more than 2 tight ends. You know.
Tell me, Bell.
You're gonna need to carry 3. Listen, we're gonna need to carry 3 tight ends, right? We got 3 on our roster right now. We don't know. We know that Lewis is not coming back. Brock Bowers was the perfect choice because we know he can also block and go out spread out wide. So that's the beauty in Brock Bowers. Like, this dude is a versatile tight end. Not only can he play out wide, but the dude can block just like Cole Kmet. So and having Cole Kmet as a blocking tight end, I think that's adding another threat in our offense right there if we had Jaheim Bell. So I'm not opposed to it. I think it's a great value pick, especially because I don't see anyone else better than him that's immediately below him. So I think Bell, you might not see the field a lot. We would have to have a creative offensive coordinator that's going to make sure this guy gets involved in the game. If one of those guys go get hurt, then we also know that we have a good third tight end who can come in and spell either one of those 2 guys that gets hurt.
So, Coach, what I was asking you, and Berlissimo kind of answered his end of it. He feels like if you put him in there, you can find a way. Basically, he's saying he's a house call. Basically, what I'm asking is, we already addressed tight end. We got Cole Kmet. Now we got Brock Bowers. Would you add Jaheim Bell as another tight end to this lineup? I'm thinking it's overkill because I don't think you're going to be able to find balls and opportunities for all 3 of those tight ends. You still need to keep another blocking tight end. You'd have 2 move tight ends, but you don't have another blocking tight end, a Mercedes Lewis. So to me, if you're going to keep 3 tight ends, you keep 3 move tight ends. I mean, 3 blocking tight ends, 2 blocking tight ends at least. On the roster, I'm talking about a 53-man roster.
That's the beauty of Brock Bowers, man. He can move and he can block. He can be an inline or outline.
You see what Coach said? You got to have your blocking tight end. You got to have your blocking tight ends, man. That's mandatory. You need one on game day. You got to have a move tight end, and you got to have a blocking tight end that can play move tight end a little bit. But you need 2 blocking tight ends regardless.
So now we've got 2 and a move, and this guy's much more of a move.
We only got one blocking tight end.
You're saying Bowers can't block?
Bowers ain't no blocking tight end, man.
Bowers
He can block, but he can't do what Mercedes Lewis and Cole Kmet can do.
He's done it. He's been out there like Cole Kmet. He's been out there throwing blows, man. I've seen this dude throw some blows.
Man, Brock Bowers is like 240 pounds, man.
Not that big.
Yeah, he might not even be that big.
Closer to 230.
Yeah, so he's not that. You got to have a big personnel group. You need 2 big block tight ends.
I would say take Cam Hart here.
With James Hunter, man. Both of those guys are blocking and moving. But
I don't think Jaheim Bell is the pick you want to make here.
Scroll down.
Move forward.
He's totally the pick we want to make here. 138.
Cam Hart. Get Cam Hart. We don't know what we're doing with Jalen Johnson right now, so just take the.
We're signing Jalen, but let's take Cam Hart anyways. We're signing Jalen. No speculation there. My boy's in the damn Pro Bowl. My boy made the Pro Bowl, y'all. That's what they wanted him to do. Make the Pro Bowl. Get interceptions. Check. Pay this man.
Well, we got 2 left.
Well, we could trade and get another one.
No, we ain't do that.
You know what? Let's do the trade because the only reason I'm doing this is for Nomad, to be honest with you. Nomad, you scouted some dudes. You got some deep dudes in this thing that you're trying to draft at like in the top 20. I want you, if we can, like this 138 pick is basically useless.
We move down to 147 and pick up 181.
If y'all want to make a move, go ahead, man.
Let's make this trade. I want Nomad to 0-1.
Samo, you good?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Jaheim's gone.
J2 kid talking crap. He said we traded our car for a bike and then traded our bike for a shopping cart.
I'm gonna trade this shopping cart for a skateboard.
All right, your dual threat tight end is still there. Jared Wiley blocks and catches.
That's what you need, and just in case Big Boy retires, man. What they call him on the team?
Big Dog?
Big Dog, in case Big Dog retire. He might want to stay for that run now. You never know.
Well, what do you think? Now we're deep. Let's click on edge, please.
Coach said he'd start looking at guys that play that key special teams position as they develop LBs and safeties who can run and hit. Yeah, that's true.
Jack Sawyer.
Still there.
Jack Sawyer's still there. Fatoy's still there.
And Muhammad Kamara, who's probably too small.
Jack Sawyer run through a wall. He's a football player. Don't care where. It doesn't matter where he's at. You just put him out there. He's gonna make some plays happen. He might not be starting edge material. He may not be starting linebacker material, but that stuff that coach is talking about, you need that guy that'll just run through a brick wall and make plays, special teams, or wherever you put him. He's a good value pick right here.
Justin Boygby still there at DT.
Yeah, he's tough now.
Okay, yeah, that's a very interesting pick.
But that'd be like
we picked up. Remember, we picked up 181. So we have 2 more picks.
This is our last 2 picks.
What, 147, 191? Yeah.
Drake Nugent want to get another center?
Nope. No, we're good.
My pick is for Jack Sawyer, man, because I know
Moose Muhammad. Hey, Doc talked about Jack Sawyer earlier. You said he was too small.
No, I mean we down in the position where you need a guy that can do a little bit of everything. That's it.
Here's Jerry Rice's son.
Hey.
We already got a guy with a name, or did we not? We skipped on him, didn't we?
Hey, stick him in the slot. Got the best coach in the world coming up. Here's Moose's son, everybody's son.
No, definitely not Moose's son.
We could bring him here to die. Like
Ooh,
his
that's
dad
not
said.
That's not very nice, Chris.
That's what his dad said. He said Chicago's where wideouts go to die.
That's not very nice.
Hey, I vote for Jared Wiley here. Pick up another. This dude could turn into Grump.
I'm with Jack Sawyer, man. Let's just call it one.
What do you guys think?
I like the defensive tackle.
Y'all have that
from Alabama, a boy going.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say his name. I choked to death.
I think he'd make a good 3 tackle.
He might have been. He may be gone.
That's not.
No, he's right there. Eboigbe. Justin Eboigbe.
Oh, he sure is. At 168. All right, you guys tell me.
Let's take Kansas pick, man. Let's just take Kansas pick. That's what he wants. Let's get him.
You good, Sam?
Let's go.
Now we got a 3 tech.
Well, when we wake up in the morning, the Chicago media is going to eat us alive.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our next pick.
181.
Who was it that you guys were just looking at? That was somebody else you were looking at too, right?
There's always Xavier.
Watts is gone.
Xavier Watts. Oh, he just left.
He just left. Brandon Rice is still there. It's a slot.
Let's take Lil Jerry.
Take Lil Jerry. You know, he's a great returner.
Lil Jerry,
because you can't miss on a Rice.
Jack Sawyer's still there.
Yeah, Lil Jerry, man, or Jack Sawyer. One of them.
Jack Sawyer's still there.
We let kids get that one. What you want, Samo?
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot. I like Lil Jerry. You know, he's a kick returner too. So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
All right. Let's grab.
There's my nephew Woody.
Let's grab Lil Jerry.
Lil Jerry. All right.
Jerry Jr. Come on, Jerry Jr.
Man, we finna be crazy. You talking, man, that's gonna be wait till we show this list, man. That's gonna be crazy. How good and expansive we just got on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Rice goes with everything, says Charles Johnson. You ain't
some good Rice and peas actually. Put that out there.
Hey, you can put rice on a pile of rocks with some gravy, man. You might got you a meal there.
Seen them cook rice on rocks. Right? Get a little dirt in there.
Hey, let's see what we got here, man. Let's blow that up.
Wow. Boom. Well, here, I'll tell you what. Let's go out of here. I'll download it and throw it in.
All right, let's go and get out. Let Chris do that. Let's talk while Chris is doing that.
I think this draft definitely assumes that we signed an edge rusher already, because we would have prioritized an edge rusher higher in this draft had we not signed an edge rusher or traded for an edge rusher prior to the draft. So chat, before you guys, jump down our throats, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We already have an edge rusher. You just don't know who he is yet.
So my thinking is this, man, and I think Nathan Campbell's responding to Dion. I forget his last name, but what he's saying is it's all offense. Guess what? We got a high level offense. We got a top number one in against the run, and the secondary is starting to get to that level. So with the projections and what you see already, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go and do extra on offense to make sure you bolster this offense enough so that it's on the same level as your defense? And look at this, guys. Give us a thumbs up if this looks good to you or not. Or if this ain't something that you would have done, or you don't like the way this is laying, give us a thumbs down. But if you like the way this is looking, and if this looks similar to something you think the Bears might actually do and the way you think they might be thinking, give us a thumbs up on this, man, because I think this looks exactly the way I think the draft might fall. You got your number one pick is Rome Odunze at 8. You went and got another weapon because the receivers are your value in this draft. It's some really high-end receivers. And then you went and got Keon Coleman. You got yourself a center. You got a offensive tackle that can compete with Braxton Jones. We didn't draft him to take Braxton Jones' job. We drafted him to compete with it. The best man will rise to the top. We got a safety just in case we didn't get what we were looking for in free agency, and in case we can't sign Eddie Jackson to a team-friendly deal, we got something to back it up. We know the coaches can coach DBs, and we know that they don't mind starting rookie DBs, and so I like that. Bucky Irving, another dynamic to the offense that we don't have right now. We have a bunch of north-south runners that are really good. We don't have that dynamic move type of jitterbug running back to add to the dynamics of the offense, man. And so adding that piece around Justin Field will be hella important. And here we go to the later rounds of the draft. Jackson Powers Johnson. What is he still doing there? This guy could be a starting center probably on anybody's team right now, but he's versatile enough to move from side to side and play either guard or center. Hell of a player right there, and we found him at 107. Valuable. Cam Hart probably should have gone in the first or second round. I think that much of that player and what this defensive back crew can do with his skill set in case we're not able to sign Jalen Johnson. We have that dude to back us up. We got Terrell Smith that's starting to trend towards a starting caliber-looking player. We know what Tyreek Stevenson is. But in case we don't sign Jalen Johnson, we backfill the position. Justin and Bo, say the word, kid, say the last name.
Thanks.
Okay.
Eboigbe.
So I've studied him too to find him at 147, and we just added another layer to our defensive front. That defensive front is trending towards being one of the better ones in the league. It's already number one against. You can't give all the credit to the defensive line, but you can give a lot of it to it. TJ Edwards and Tremaine behind them is really helping that them trend towards number one. But you just added another layer to your rotation. The waves of guys you can pull out. I mean, it's just, and then you just got Jerry Rice's son. And then just for fun. And then you got Jerry Rice's son. We know if we just grabbed all those guys, we know we ain't signing Darnell Mooney. And I hate that because I think Darnell Mooney is a really good receiver that got the bad end of a stick. Same thing as Chase Claypool. We can argue about whether Chase Claypool's got his head on straight, but I think with a different coordinator and a guy that's more dynamic and more innovative as an offensive play caller, I think the Chase Claypool story is looking a lot different than it is right now. That's just my personal opinion. But I think what we just did, guys, is we just made a hell of a team out of a team that was right there starting to come around the corner and starting to trend towards what we think they could be. I think we just gave them every opportunity to actually go through that glass ceiling. Am I right or wrong, guys? This looks like, this is one hell of a mock draft. And I hope you guys have got to somebody screenshot this, please. Somebody please screenshot this and put this on Twitter and see what people think about it, because some people might say we went overboard on the offense and the offensive weapons. I don't feel like that, Samuel. I think we did exactly what came to us, man. What do you think?
I think you're right. And I think for everyone who's saying this isn't a realistic scenario, we played with the draft drop, the way the draft dropped to us for one. If those players aren't there, of course, then the Bears aren't going to be able to draft them. But right now, for the purpose of what we're doing, those players were there, and we would have been fools to pass up on them. However, I will say this, it being offensive heavy up top, especially, man, I think that's probably what we're going to see happen when the draft comes around, because if you think about it, Foles has put all the money into the defense, right? And we know we're going to end up having to pay Justin Fields about 2 years from now. So you want to get your offense as young as you can. You want to get some young talent on offense. And I think this is the time, when you have all these assets that he's going to gain to do that. So that's why I think this is extremely realistic. And, we didn't draft a defensive end here, but we are assuming, again, that we signed a defensive end. And, our defense is stacked. and set. You know, we have a deep defense already, guys. We have depth in our secondary, all in we're in every position except for maybe safety. So we added a safety here. We have depth on our defensive line. We have depth at linebackers, and we're assuming again that we drafted a defensive end, so which makes this a extremely realistic scenario to me. I don't know why everyone thinks it's not realistic. And again, you want to get younger on offense and you want to get cheaper on offense because again, we spent all the money in defense last year. We're probably going to put a little bit more money in there this year.
So I don't really get what's unrealistic about this particular trade and or mock. The New England trade is probably the most table stakes trade that we're going to be availed to. It might not happen, but again, at 3, they have all the interest to come up and get a quarterback. There's no two ways about that. They desperately want one. And a quarterback at the top of the draft is going to cost you just about what it costs them in this draft. So I think it's viable by way of what we did to get to where we were. Now, let's look at the 2018 Chicago Bears and where we were. All of our investment money, dollars, cents, time, energy, effort was on the defensive side of the ball. And Ryan Poles came in and reset all of that. Khalil Mack left. Robert Quinn left, et cetera, et cetera. Now we're at a situation where once again the defense is up where it needs to be. There will be some additional, investment on the defensive side. Resign Jalen Johnson, potentially get another edge, do something at the safety position, or do not. That'll happen this offseason. But the moral of the story today, guys, is that you can build an entire offense if you keep Justin Fields and trade this pick. You can build an entire offense and bolster your defense simultaneously in two seasons. This guy said, I'm coming here to take the North. That's what Poles said. Season 1, flush the entire defense, reset everything by way of finances. That was step 1. And what are we out here doing as media folks? We're saying that 17 game season was terrible. They only won 3 games. Get everybody out of here. Well, the fact is the team was terrible. Winning 3 games was luck. They should have lost all those games. There was no investment on either side of the ball. Now we have the defensive investment, and with a draft similar to this, we could also have the full offensive investment. And where does that leave us? It's not a question of trusting Fields, the scrolls. This has nothing to do with trusting Fields. This has everything to do with trusting Ryan Poles and allowing him the opportunity to build a team. If the quarterback doesn't work out, and let's be completely real, here's where I will agree with you, Scrolls. The quarterback never works out in Chicago. Fact of the matter. I don't think anybody can argue with that. It's the truth. Never works out. If he doesn't work out in a year, maybe 2 years, you just scored all of this capital, a secondary first-round pick that you can trade right back up and get his replacement. And that happens next year. Or if you want to rinse, wash, and repeat and do this same formula all over again, it can happen in 2026. Fact of the matter is, you now have a fully invested team on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, as opposed to only investing in one side.
Chris, go ahead.
Story, y'all.
Well, for one, it's obvious when you have the number 1 pick, you can get assets. So what kids said, this is a lesson in rebuilding, plugging holes, putting starter level people in holes. We still sold our valuable silver dollar at the top for $75 when somebody else offered us $150. But the way it played out, there's still lots of value in this draft, and we're just in a good position, guys. I'm really ready to get on with it so we can see what's going to happen.
So let me answer a question Terrence Williams just asked. He asked me, what do you think Kevin Warren is thinking? And this would be somebody sitting in a skybox looking down on this thing. This would be somebody that's looking inside the locker room, taking a good view of the connections and the camaraderie built, and what kind of anybody that's been around a winning culture, around a locker room that has a winning culture inside of it, and it starts from the inside. It grows from the inside and it builds its way out. I've been a part of those kind of teams, and if I'm Kevin Warren and I've seen something like that, I know exactly what I'm looking at when I go in that locker room, and I'm extremely excited. On one side of the ball, for the most part, on the defense, he could see that this is trending towards being a really, really good defense. Offensive side of the ball, we're still putting up 28 points on an average a game, and we still don't have the kind of weaponry that we need to really be explosive and to really be overbearing to a team or opponent that we have to face. If I'm Kevin Warren, I'm looking at this draft board and I'm saying that's exactly what we need to damn do. We need to be overbearing with our weaponry on offense and still add a few pieces to the defense to keep them milling along and keep them getting stronger. So if I'm Kevin Warren, I'm looking at this draft board right here. After looking at everything I just saw from the press box and going down beneath and going into that locker room and seeing that thing grow and mushroom from the inside, I'm saying that's exactly what we damn need to do. Exactly what I see on this board. That's exactly what we need to do. That's an overbearing situation for an offense to be against a defense. You got a problem all the way across the board. And so what I say about what I think Kevin Warren might think, I think he's just like, let's go win a effing Super Bowl with this. Because any good quality, competent offensive coordinator is going to turn this into a juggernaut. Am I right or wrong? Does it look too fantasy-like for you guys? Because I don't think so. Because of the value of where we're sitting, this could quite likely be something similar to what they do. And so I don't look at this as too far-fetched at all. Not whatsoever. And I think that we did the best that we could to simulate a real live situation. We didn't agree on everything. We felt different about this player, that player, or what to do with this pick or that pick, this trade or that. But the consensus came together, and look what came out of it. Look what came out of it. And so do me a favor, guys, everybody that's watching the show, if you would like to screenshot this and put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on whatever media or social media website you go to, feel free and challenge people. Challenge people. Do you think that this is a realistic scenario for what they just did? I think it's A1. And, I like what we did, but let's go around the horn one more time, fellas, and just, speak up to the viewers, man. Tell them how you think of them.
Again, shout out to all the chat, man. You guys kept me busy today. That's why I wasn't speaking a lot. Man, you guys kept me busy with all the comments.
Hold on, Samuel. Suntours must be a audio listener. He needs to have the picks read to him. You want to do it?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Read them out. Number one, we get. Go ahead. You want to read them?
Go ahead.
First pick, 8th pick, we got Rome Odunze. With the 10th pick, we took Brock Bowers, tight end, Georgia. With the 34th pick, Keon Coleman was still available, wide receiver, Florida State. 38th pick, we took Cedric Van Pran, offensive center from Georgia. With the 68th pick, we took Patrick Paul, offensive tackle, Houston. 72nd pick, we took Rod Moore, safety, Michigan. With the 76th pick, Bucky Irvin, running back, Oregon. 107th pick, Jackson Powers Johnson, offensive center, Oregon. Of course, those guys can both play guard as well. So we got two centers that can play guard interchangeable. With the 122nd pick, we took Cam Hart, cornerback, Notre Dame. With the 174th pick, we took Justin Eboigbe, defensive tackle, Alabama. I think that's how you say it, right, kids? And the 181st pick, our last pick, we took Brendan Bryce, wide receiver, USC. That's Jerry Rice's son. So we went extremely heavy on offense in this draft. And that's what the all the fuss is about in the chat. People don't think it's realistic, but I absolutely think it's realistic. I'll say that again, simply because we're gonna have to go cheap on one side of the ball. We already heavily invested financially on the defensive side of the ball, and I can see us investing more in this scenario. Absolutely, because in this scenario, we probably went and signed defensive end from the Vikings, and it made that our defensive line solid. We already have good depth on our defense, and we added a little bit of depth here, and we can also add some more depth in free agency with some cheaper guys. So going cheap and explosive on our offensive side of the ball in this draft, I think was the best way to go, as we saw it, as we saw fit, as the board fell to us. And hey, you might not be happy with it on paper, but on the field, you'll be in love with this team right here. I'll say that. Shout out to everybody who rocked with us for the entire night. We 2 hours, 15 minutes in. Shout out to all the No Maniacs. We'll see you guys on Sunday, fun day, right? 1 hour before the Bears game. Looking forward to it.
And by the way, we also got New England's Sun Taurus 9 who's listening to audio, and anybody else. We got New England's 2025 first and second round picks.
Oh yeah.
That's it, and that's that's how we're gonna wrap things up. No Maniacs, thanks for representing with us once again. There's a lot of new heads out in the chat. Shout out to Scrolls. Dion Buford's a regular. Charles Johnson, you're a regular too, but I see you're keeping receipts on us, and that's cool. This is just a draft. This is just a mock. Coach Chi, what up? J2K, I'm sorry we didn't do the draft that was sitting in your brain, that's not necessarily reflected here today. But again, we'll do a couple more of these as we go forward. This is really just an exercise. This is the type of team that Ryan Poles has the opportunity of building without dipping into the quarterback market right now. I don't think, and this is just me talking, and my views are my own. They're not necessarily the views of the Nomad Network or anybody else's, but for the most part, I know these guys will go, heck yeah, kids, later on when we talk. But at the end of the day, there's just the value is too deep. There's too much opportunity here for you to waste it. And if you waste it and dip into that QB market today, Ryan Poles, unfortunately, brother, all you got is a QB, and you still got to work your way through building this team. And that's my worry. I would much rather have the team and be able to plug a quarterback into it than not have the team and have the quarterback. Because right now, if you look in Kansas City, that's kind of how it looks, and things ain't looking all that great. And then if you look in San Francisco, it's quite the opposite. They have the team, and they just plug the quarterback in. And he's potentially an MVP caliber player. No, I'm not sure if it's because of just his talents alone. I would like to think it's got a lot to do with the people surrounding him, like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey. Like, I can go down the list. That's how you build a team, guys. And I can't wait till this team in 2024 looks like a viable threat in the NFC.
And thanks for coming, Shortino, Mr. Shorty, man. I appreciate you for coming in here, man. Thank you, Coach.
Shorty!
Thank you, Barlissimo, for just bringing you guys' value to the chat, and thank everybody, man. And I just stepped over Chris. I just had to make sure I got that in there. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, we're good, man. I kind of echo what Ken says, man. This is all about building a team. You know what? If you get rid of Justin Fields right now, something's wrong with you. So, I really trust Ryan Poles, and even though I hear so much of what I hear from the national media about this is, they're going to move on. Oh, so-and-so talked to 7 GMs, and they said you got to move on. I'll bet those 7 GMs he talked to, none of them have Super Bowls.
Right.
I'll bet you that.
I bet you they don't have quarterbacks, but continue.
Yeah. So you know what? This can be monumental, guys, and I hope and I trust that Brian Poles is going to do the right thing. So, hey, thank you guys for joining us, all you folks in the chat, Coach T, Mr. Shorty, J2K, all you guys. It's good It's good to have you here. We love you guys, and bear down.
And I'm gonna wrap it up with this, guys, really quickly, man. I'm gonna say this one more time, man. I've just been around organization, or teams where it really started off like it just was all shot up. It really was, man. It was just holes everywhere, and there was just bad philosophy and everything. And then I've been in the situation as it made its turn. And so when you hear me on this show, or you see me on Twitter or whatever social media platform, and you see me being so confident about what I see in this team, just understand it comes from somewhere. I didn't pull that right out of my rectum, man. I can see what I need to see. I can feel what I need to feel. I don't have to be exactly right there in that locker room to kind of tell you what's going on in that locker room. I don't have to be on them sidelines to kind of tell you what exactly is going on the sidelines. And if you're looking at it from 60,000 feet, it is so easy to see where this thing is going. It really is. It is really simple if you just fall back for a second, pull away from your social media accounts, just look at the film. Just look at the film. How do you get in a situation where you're beating these teams, and then shorthanded, the coaches are shorthanding you with the play calls? I look at all that kind of stuff, and I say to myself, you know what? We probably short 4 or 5 games we should have won. You know what I mean? And I feel like that just based off of what I see on tape. That all being said, we didn't get those wins. I can sit here and cry over spilled milk for the rest of the offseason. What I'm trying to tell you is anybody with 2020 vision and in position in that building knows, by looking at what's going on and the way this thing is trending, they know that you don't want to alter almost anything in there. You don't want to mess with nothing. If you can avoid it, you won't mess with anything. You will just add to it. But unfortunately, we're going to lose some players. But the quarterback position, man, you don't mess with that. You don't mess with that right now. The locker room has told you, and that kid's play has told you. So we'll just put that to the side for now. We did this mock exercise and this simulation based on what we think is realistic for this organization. I'll just put that there. And again, I would tell you guys to share that stuff. If you want to screenshot it and share it, go right ahead. But make sure, you guys, man, if you enjoyed this content, man, please, if you don't hit that like button, I'm going to hurt somebody. If you don't hit that subscribe button, I'm going to hurt somebody. Do that thing. Hit the notification bell and share it with as many people as you can. Tell that person to share it with somebody, and on down the line, man. Get this content out there if you really enjoy it. And the more people share it and view it, the better it's just going to get. And so let's just wrap this up with this. I'm gonna give you guys some kind words. And I just told you at the beginning of the show that we have COVID in the house. After all this time, we did a good job. My girlfriend's mother was she was a dementia patient, and she was very susceptible to any kind of virus that was going on because she had bad lungs, and she was 80-something years old. And we did everything we could to shield this lady and to protect that lady from any kind of viruses and we did all the way up until she passed. We protected her. She never got sick through that whole pandemic. What I want to say to this is I know it's become a divisive topic to talk about. I know people have drugged this into politics, and that's not where it needs to be. This is 2024. This ain't 2023, 2022, 2021, or 2020. What we should do, in my opinion, is take the politics out of it and listen to trained people, trained scientists, trained doctors that tell you what and what not to do. What I'm asking you guys to do is take the politics out of it and do the common sense thing for not just yourself, but for people that you care about or people that you may or may not know. If someone in your house has become ill with that virus, do the right thing and go out with a mask on. I don't know why a mask is divisive. You don't want to give that to the next person that's unsuspecting and it kills them. Why would you? You know, I mean, I know how divisive this topic has been, but we can do something about that. We can snatch that narrative away from the politics side of it and just do what the doctors and the science said to do. And so I just challenge everybody. It's a season where we just come off the holidays and everybody's been around each other. Check, get yourself a COVID test. You don't want to be passing that stuff around and not know it. You can kill somebody and just not know. I don't want that on my heart, and I don't want that on my conscience. And until my girlfriend gets better, I will protect myself. I will protect everybody around me, and I will try to shelter in place until it gets better. And so that's just my choice. I hope you, if you got any kind of situation like that, you choose the same thing. Just take it away from the politics and just do what's right for people, you know, no matter what they think on the politics side. So I'll just leave you guys with that, and we'll wrap this thing up and get on up out of here with these kind words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Peace. Bear down. FG.
Boom.